I know I haven't been on this channel for a while, but I decided to come on. I have a lot to talk about. Let's talk autism. I took a break from this channel for a little while because things got too political, and I'm just not that person. But I decided to try to come back because this is about our autism journey. It isn't about anything politics. It's just our autistic journey. Me, I have autism, and I got 3 kids with autism, and that's exactly what it is. It's a journey. And one of the reasons why I wanted to come back on was because I just spent a weekend in Columbus with my kids, and it was actually quite interesting because I had one that needed everything to be exact. I had one that gets stuck on everything he does, and I had one that was overstimulated the whole entire time and could not get himself regulated. So it was supposed to be a really fun trip, and it was a fun trip a lot of the time. I just felt really bad for each and every one of them at different times. And I wanted to come on because I wanted to talk about my just newly 5-year-old. He is just turned 5 July 25th, which is really cool because we had this huge countdown, and we had cake and a whole week of celebrating him, and he had a great time. But he needs everything to be just so, and when it's not, he goes to crying immediately, and it gets pretty rough. When he was on one of the rides, it was too loud, and it's a ride that he would normally ride because he loves the bumper boats at the fairs. But this particular one at the Columbus Zoo was really loud, and he just instantly, he tried, he covered his ears, and then he ended up in a ball, and then the ride operator had to stop it. And then what happened was he was completely in a ball with his head on his lap, and everybody's bumping into him. It was heartbreaking, and I'm sure that it was very traumatic for him. And my heart, I just wanted to save him. That mom in me that just wanted to grab him even at 5 years old and cradle him and hold him as tight as I could and take the fear away was all I could think about. When I saw the operator look at me, and he's like, "Should I stop it?" And absolutely. So then he ran over to him, and he did stop it. Levi instantly came up, and he was okay, and he was crying, and he said, "Do you want to get off?" And Levi said no, that he really wanted to try to do this, but people needed to stop hitting him, and he wanted to go on the outside because he was in the middle. So I got to tell you what, this kid, I got to give him this. He goes and he goes, and he does not give up no matter what. He tries, and he doesn't want me to come and do it for him. He was figuring it out in his head. So they all started back up again, the ride, and people are, trying to be respectful, but it's just loud. And he instantly starts covering his ears, but after a couple minutes, he figured out how to move out of the middle and to go on the outside. Now, he did not do much more than that. And then he got off the ride, and it kind of set him off. Just like the other day, we went to a thing which is supposed to be really autistically fun. It's supposed to be an autism. Well, it's not for people that have autism, but it's for sensory uh, friendly. Like it's supposed to be autistic attractive, I guess, to um, stimulate the senses. And a lot of people who are autistic, I could see how they would really like it, but I could also see how, because I am autistic, I wasn't really a fan. Um, Now, two of my autistic kids really liked it, and myself and Levi did not really like it that much. So, but it's called The Other World, and it takes you into another world. And there's all kinds of really amazing lights, and it's like a show with things hanging from the ceiling, and every room is different. It's a different sensory experience, and in some ways it's really cool. um, our very first room, as soon as we went in, there was a big puff of noise with air, and I screamed because I wasn't expecting it at all. And what ended up happening was, because I screamed, because Levi reacts off of me. If I, no matter what I do, he just reacts off of me. So he cried, and I just had to hold him and let him know that it was okay. And we were there 5 minutes, and he was already saying, "I want to go home." So it's like, okay, how do we make this fun again? And that's what it is with autism. It's this constant trying to make them or myself feel better enough to be able to turn it around, to be able to continue whatever it is. And sometimes that can be a bit of a struggle. I mean, sometimes we have carried Levi out of places because it's just not happening. We cannot get him calmed down enough, and we are just not moving forward. We know that we aren't. So it's trying to find another preferred thing that he might want to do that will take his mind off of what just happened. So it can be a bit of a challenge, but we normally can figure out what might work for him. And we got through the entire exhibit, and again, I was really proud of him because he figures it out. I mean, this kid is so strong emotionally and mentally that no matter what he comes across, he figures it out, and he tries to continue. And that is such an amazing strength that is going to get him through life. That is something that I am so glad that he just has naturally in himself. I was always the same way. I just always, no matter what, I mean, as I've discussed in previous videos, which, like I said, I haven't posted in a while, but my dad died when I was very young, and so, you just have to pick up at 11 years old and figure life out. There were a lot of things that happened in my life before then. Now the sun is coming out a little bit. I'm sitting on my back deck. I know it's not the best lighting in the world, but I've just decided to sit out here and watch my kids swim. And I just have so much on my mind about this that I decided to just do it right now. Sometimes it's the best time to do it when you just are thinking. And it's been on my mind since we had this trip. And one of the things that I did was I got those headphones, and I got a really good pair. I even tried them on, and it really does block out the majority of the sounds around you. It was really funny because we put them on him, and I said, "Can you hear me?" And he said, "No." So that was kind of funny because he answered me. but it's really faint because when I put them on, it really blocked out most of the noise around me, but I could still hear. But I think that it's going to take the edge off. And for him, because like, this is another example. We went to a water show not that long ago, and it was an outdoor setting. It really was not that loud, but we sat on the ground and they had speakers, and it ended up that where we were, it was a little loud. And so he instantly started covering his ears when the guy started speaking for the water show. And then he wanted to move to the back. And whenever we do anything, and this is another example, we were just at the sea lion show, when we went to the Columbus Zoo. And everybody was having so much fun. But there's Levi sitting next to me, so overstimulated that he's just completely shut down. He's not able to even respond with a word or a smile. And I'm like, hey, buddy, this is really fun. Look at how much fun this is. Oh, look, he's waving, and nothing, absolutely nothing. But when we get done, his sister, who also is autistic, they asked for somebody in the audience to help. Well, she got chosen. Crazily, she got chosen. If crazily is a word, but she did. She got chosen, and so she gets out there and she gets to teach the seal, because that's basically what it looks like, how to flip. And it was really fun, and she got a conservation pin and everything, and she just absolutely had a blast doing it. But as soon as it was over, Levi just starts crying. I mean, he sat there the whole entire time, not a noise, nothing, just starts crying. And then I say, buddy, what's wrong? And he says, they didn't choose me. I'm like, well, they would have, but you didn't even raise your hand, and they can only choose one person. And maybe next time we'll come back and we'll, and the girl who did the training and was with the show, she actually came over and said, and we told her what was going on, and she said, just keep coming back, raising your hands, and we'll choose you. But it just wasn't even, he won't raise his hand again because he's the one in the class where the teacher, and he's in preschool again another year, because even though he's 5 now, emotionally and mentally he's just not ready for kindergarten. So the team decided, when we discussed his IEP, that we were just going to wait another year. But the teachers all say that he's the one that's way over in the corner with the headphones on while everybody is participating. He's over on the other side and he's not participating, and he thinks it's too loud when they sing. And it's, trying to get him to try to keep figuring it out, to blend, to include himself in situations that are overwhelming, overstimulating, loud, and not shut down. If anybody has a comment about this, if you too have experienced this, or if you have any solutions for this, that would be great. And please subscribe to the Everything Spectrum channel. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while. I would like to do it. I have a lot to share. My kids are so much fun, and we do so much, and I would like to continue to share our life and our experiences with autism on this channel. I just don't want to get political, and I know there's a lot of politics that are going on right now regarding autism and Autism Speaks, which I don't support anything that they do, but there are a lot of things out there that are going on, and that's not what this channel is about. This channel is just about our journey and about autism, just our autism. And we have 4 different autism's here. And that's another thing. Before I actually leave for today, is it's a spectrum. And that's why I called this channel Everything Spectrum. Because people just don't respect the word spectrum. Doctors, medical professionals don't respect the word spectrum. They lump everything under a few different words of autism and that describe autism, and if you don't have those things, then supposedly you don't have autism. And that's a whole nother topic day, not for today, but we're all different. There's 4 of us here, and every single one of us is different. Every one of us is different socially, emotionally, mentally, sensory, in every aspect of autism. And all the people that I know that are autistic, every one of them is different. So just hang in there. If you're looking for a diagnosis, just keep hanging in there. Just go and get it. If you know or believe that somebody has it that isn't getting that diagnosis, that's another thing that I just want to encourage you. Just keep going. If you don't like what this doctor says, go to another one. Don't let anybody define you or your child or whoever you feel that you believe in your heart that they have it and they're not getting the diagnosis. Go for it, and don't give up until you get the right diagnosis, because if you have a heart condition, you're not going to get treatment with for a cancer pill. A cancer isn't going to help a heart condition. So if you have autism but they're treating you for something else, then you're not going to get the right resources that you need in order to be the best you. So keep plugging away, keep going for it, and don't let anybody define you, and go with your gut and your heart, because that trumps everything. It trumps everybody. All right. Keep being you and keep moving forward. Again. Ready? Do it.
1, 2, 3. Smash that like button.